Hey,
Oh, welcome back.
hey, yeah. It's a sweltering 70 degrees, 75 maybe pushing 80.
Oh,
When
yeah.
it should be about 40 here, but it's 80, and it's the end of the world, man. End of the world as
Winter
we know it.
winter has arrived here. So we are in
Oh,
full.
oh, okay.
Oh yeah. It's cold.
Do,
Mhm.
do you have snow? Is that kind
Yeah,
of a
we got a
feature of your
few
winter?
yeah, we got a few inches.
Hmm,
Still coming. Bit of a storm coming. Yeah.
wow,
But
that's impressive.
it's good stuff. Yeah. Yep.
Now, is that common? Is that like, is there anything like, obviously we're in a world right now where we're observing different realities as it comes to as it relates to weather, and
hmm
as they coin it, the global warming.
hmm
Like, are you seeing things different in your neck of the woods? Like, is weather different? Are
no,
the animals talking?
I think the changes in those patterns are maybe a little too slow for us to really observe. Like from year to year, humans are bad at that, right? Like from year to year, you can say, oh, it's colder this year than it was, or it's hotter this year, or we got more tornadoes, or we got more whatever. But I'm no scientist. I mean, I play one on TV,
Oh,
but I don't think it quite works like that, right? Like I don't think it's changing quite that fast. Like you can't say, well, more tornadoes this year means global warming because it was less tornadoes than last year or whatever. I think it's probably fairly well agreed upon within the scientific community that we're seeing changes, like at least what am I trying to say? Changes in the pattern of temperatures and weather patterns and that kind of stuff. But like an actual observation from year to year on what the weather is doing, that's not climate. Right? I don't think that's quite how it works. Uh, I'm not a climate change denier. I'm just saying uh, if it's colder this year than it was last year or warmer this year than it was last year, that in itself is not due to some larger change in climate. I don't think. Again, not a not a scientist. What do you think? I think I lost you.
couple of these.
Oh, there we
Hello,
go.
can you hear me?
Yeah, now you're there. Yes.
Interesting. Okay, so you were waffling on a bit about something. It sounded very scientific, but I kind of navigated away from this recording apparatus,
Uh-huh.
and I was responding to you. When you I was responding to you, and it was a very very humorous, I thought,
hmm
response.
I'm
But
sure it was gold,
unfortunately,
John. I'm sure it was gold.
I would love to repeat it, but it would not be good content, because that's really what we're after. It's good content. But yeah, like, I navigated away, and apparently, whatever this app, this website doesn't like it.
Hmm.
So, even that's one thing that bugs me is we should just call this the rant channel. I'm just gonna. It's a rant. I'm gonna rant. I'm gonna rant
Go
if
for
you
it.
allow
Go
me.
for it.
Everything wants your eyes these days. Everything wants your eyes. Like, if you are on a website and you watch a video and you just want to scroll away from it really quickly and just go do something else, or you change your browser, or you want to listen to it in the background, it just stops. It pauses for you, out of convenience, quote unquote. But it pauses, and then you have to go back to it, and you have to sit there and watch a video, from beginning to end, if you want to sort of, interact with it.
Mhm.
There's no way to multitask, I guess, when it comes to media and internet, and things like that. At least that's my impression. Um, and I wanted to just sort of get that out.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, you sounded very scientific.
Oh, interesting. I can't say that's my experience. I've not had that experience. I feel like videos are much better at popping over everything else these days and trying to keep. I don't know. Maybe that's what you're talking about, but yeah, they
Yeah,
say humans are not very good at multitasking, or that they can't multitask at all. But I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I multitask pretty well, but I forget a lot of things.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can watch YouTube and poop at the same time, so I feel like
Ooh,
I've
that's nice.
proved it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
2 tasks at once. Yeah.
But are you present? Are you in the moment? Have you found at still points, while defecating or
It could be
eliminating
that
your
it could be
bowels?
I'm micro switching between the 2 tasks so quickly
Mm,
that I don't realize it. Yeah, it's true.
yeah.
Maybe it's not true multi-threading if you were to use a programming analogy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where we're going to go here. I don't know, we're going to go back to the global warming thing. We're going to go, to general.
I don't know that I have an unpopular opinion about global warming. I mean, that one's a little bit of I
Yeah.
don't know, it's a little hot buttoning, but I just don't know enough about it. I know enough about other stuff, but I'm not sure I know enough about that.
Yeah. That's the best time to have an opinion is when you don't know anything. It's the ignorance of the opinion that makes the opinion valuable.
That's
Would you
true.
say? Yeah.
That's absolutely true. I feel like this opinion, like that topic, doesn't work for me uh, because there probably is a right and a wrong. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
like somebody's probably right and somebody's probably wrong about it. I guess maybe that's the rub is you can. It doesn't seem like we as a society maybe can agree. Like yes, we can agree that this thing is happening, something is occurring, but we disagree on what to do about it. Maybe that's the rub, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I find I find it interesting that we all think that something interesting or something observable is going to happen within our frame of reference.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of speaks to I don't know if we have enough data to recognize the world climate is changing, perhaps. Um, and I think it's I don't know if it's human nature, but it is funny how um, a lot of us, 20 years on the earth, 30 years, 40 years, whatever, 70, seem to have it figured out or seem to think that something's going to happen within their term of experience or Christ is going to return to the earth. And these are all the signs of end times. It's a little I wouldn't say arrogant, but it's maybe not. Maybe this is an interesting period. It's just going to be what it is, and enjoy the warm weather.
Yeah. Enjoy it. Go to the beach. Why don't you? Yeah.
The golden years.
Well, as we started out saying, it's snowing here, John, so it cannot possibly be warming up globally. It's not possible.
Yeah. Well,
Tongue in cheek, but yeah.
well, shucks.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess what are you going to do, right? You got to stop driving your car. I still drive my car.
Yeah.
You gonna stop flying on a plane?
Nope.
I still
Yeah.
fly on planes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna. Some people have stopped walking on escalators. We've already talked about that, but I'm not sure that solves anything. But maybe that's they're doing their part, John.
They're doing their part, yeah.
For global warming. So like if I can just ride it up this 40 feet or whatever, less blowing off less CO2 or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, go on.
I was gonna make a bit of a swap, talking about traveling and planes.
Okay.
This last time I was traveling, this is a month or so ago now. I was in an airport, and I actually have a couple of airport things, but I'm gonna focus on this one because I saw this one at this last airport I was at. There was a group of, I don't know, 4 or 5 adult individuals that seemed to be friends. They were sitting together and seemed to be socializing together. And amongst the 4 or 5 of them, there were 3 or 4 dogs. This is in the airport at the gate, waiting for the plane. And
were the dogs with this group of friends? Were they traveling together?
Yes, they appeared to be connected to the group of friends. You can probably guess where I'm going with this. To get your dog on a plane, you got to put a special vest on your dog that says your dog is some kind of service animal. right?
Oh, now these people, I guess, were they disabled in a way? I guess from what you could
No,
see.
I mean
Okay, no.
not physically. They didn't appear to be.
Okay.
I mean, they were. I don't know what the word is nowadays, John. Where they were mobile friendly. I don't know what. There's got to be some word for this. Some politically correct word
Yeah,
for this.
yeah.
But no, they were able to stand up and walk around on their own. I didn't see any crutches or wheels between them. And sorry, go ahead.
No, I did. Maybe they were transporting the dog, going, moving house perhaps, or, was the dog in a crate or the animal in a crate, of some type that was going to go in a stowaway in the underbelly.
These were normal full size dogs, walking under their own power, leashed, and they had vests claiming that they were, service animals.
Interesting.
Which, like, these individuals, I'm going to go out on a limb. They were not blind. What is the word? They were not seeing disabled. Again, too many words. But they could see, which I feel like if you can't see, a seeing eye dog, that's a good reason to have a seeing eye dog, right? If you can't see,
could they see your disapproval?
I don't know. I snuck a photo. From a distance. Yeah. To send to another friend who I thought would appreciate my grumbling about it.
Put that on the website.
Yeah. And they, I don't know. So I am angry, John, about. I'm angry about service dogs that aren't really serving you. Like, if you want to have a dog, there's a dog that lives in my house. There's a dog that lives in your house, I'm told.
Yeah, I do have a dog.
And that dog serves no purpose. I mean, he serves some purpose. My wife wanted him. He's friendly or whatever he is. She, I guess. The dog identifies as a female dog. And so that dog, has a purpose. But it's not I'm not putting a vest on it and bringing it into, I don't know, a store under false pretenses that it's somehow helping me.
Well, I mean, I've heard of these animals, the vest animals, and I assume that they're there for an emotional reason. So perhaps the person
doesn't count.
What doesn't count? I'm sorry.
Emotional reasons to have a dog or to bring a dog with you.
Well, yeah, maybe they're uncomfortable flying a plane. Maybe the dog is somehow a coach, I guess, with meditation. Perhaps it helps them meditate. Did it seem like
there are apps? There are apps for that now, I think. Yeah.
Did the dog sort of display characteristics of a type of guru? Maybe dreadlocks, any sort of tribal clothing, tribal leash.
No piercings or tattoos.
That's bizarre.
No strange furdoos. Yeah, that's a dog version of a hairdo. Yeah.
He's got a furdo.
A furdo. Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of a hairdo, they call it a furdo because dogs have furs instead of hairs. Yeah.
I like it.
Fur. I guess fur is plural. Fur instead of hair. Yeah. Yeah. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't understand why you would need a dog to emotionally support you. Well, okay. Let me back that off. Let me walk that back a little bit. I think my wife enjoys that the dog somehow emotionally supports her, because God knows I'm not doing it. But I'm not sure that that she needs it on a plane. Like the dog's going to be any help there, right? Did you go to another app again, John? It seems like you're not there.
No, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
I was going to turn to my emotional support animal. I was having a crisis.
Well, I mean, I was going to also throw out there, the dog obviously isn't versed in maybe emotions, but did it have perhaps a leather jacket, a weapon, and a sort of bad attitude.
Like it was a
Samuel
like
L. Jackson,
like
type
an
of
air
thing.
marshal dog or something.
Yeah,
That would
yeah,
be
just
pretty
kind of like
yeah.
you
Like a hidden weapon. These didn't look
Yeah,
like
just
air
kinda-
marshals. These people, but I guess that's by air marshals are supposed to be secretive by design. I'm not sure I've ever
yeah,
like knowingly encountered an air marshal.
Yeah.
But statistically, I guess I probably have it somewhere along the way. I don't think these were air marshal dogs, which is
that would be really cool.
you mentioned it's a good idea for a franchise like the Air Bud series.
Oh, yeah, I remember
the
that.
Golden
Yeah, yeah.
Retriever. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do like an air marshal version. That'd be good.
Yeah. He says bad words, but he barks it. Yeah, like I mean, I guess they don't limit the emotional support animals to dogs, to canines. I mean, you can get cats, I believe, and you can go like snakes. You get an emotional support snake, which is an animal as well.
They all make me angry. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, I'm not going to know about them enough to be angry about them if they're in your own home. But when you bring them on a plane, when you bring them in a public space,
Yeah.
and you gotta like, I don't know, what so let's dig into this. So what does it hurt, right? Why do I care? The dog didn't pee on my leg or anything, so I don't.
Yeah.
You know, so that was fine. I
Didn't roll its eyes at you.
I didn't hear it bark. That's
Yeah.
fine. I don't know. I mean, I don't dislike dogs. I guess if they had to buy a seat for the dog or something, what do I care? I don't know if they did, or if the dogs just sat there. A lot of people have little tiny dogs, like a little dog in a box. It's similar to a great SNL sketch, but the you seen that one? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay. But yeah, these were full normal sized dogs.
Mm.
Yeah.
And what were they on the same plane as you? These
Yep.
And were they just kind of like parked in the aisle, like messing up service? Like what were they on someone's lap?
John, this is where my argument falls apart here because frankly I don't know. Once we got on the plane, I boarded before them or they boarded before me. I don't remember. They probably boarded before me because they probably had special needs to board with their dogs. But
Yeah.
or they were active duty military or whatever they were. Maybe they were army dogs. But anyway, they got on the plane or I got on the plane and I promptly forgot about them until I got home later and looked at the photo. But so again, completely flying in the face of my argument and anger here is that they in no way impacted my day. The flight wasn't delayed because one of them, pooped in the air vent or whatever it was. Like nothing happened. Nobody bit a flight attendant. It was all fine.
Yeah. So where are we with that? So basically, you're just an angry person.
Yeah, just angry. I don't have a dog to meet my special needs,
including cute little dogs.
Should have dogs to meet their special needs.
Well, so my take on this, if you're gonna ask, I mean, my take on this is that
please.
And my dog is it's a designer dog, but it's marketed as hypoallergenic. I do struggle still with asthma around the dog, but I've come to love it. Regardless, these other dogs, when they're on the plane, as a person with allergies, it really pisses me off that someone has, sort of conned their dog, or they sort of manipulated the system to get their dog into the plane. And now I have to sneeze the whole way from point A to point B on this plane because they can't handle flying a plane by themselves. And what is? Sorry, I'm getting upset too. What is this? What is this trauma that people have with planes all of a sudden? Like I mean, 10 years ago, no one was afraid to fly. No one was demanding that their pet be on the plane, but now it's like everyone needs like a little thing to help,
Yeah.
ease the
And
anxiety.
20 years ago, they were crashing into buildings. And then, man, that's a good point. I mean, John, so you have a medical reason that these dogs are screwing with your flight. But you can go on there and say you don't like peanuts, and all of a sudden I can't eat my granola bar. So,
yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice. It's one of our. I think there might be an opportunity for us to go on location. With these conversations. Maybe speak
like street interviews. Like a nighttime. What do you call those shows? Like the Tonight Show or whatever? Yeah, we go out on the street.
Go on the street. Go into the airport. And just sit down with people. Look, what gives you the right to bring your dog onto the plane?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's very, very confrontational, but
let me just let me get a pencil here and write this down.
Okay. Good. All right. We're gonna have to sort of get some kind of microphone or something, I guess. I guess you just use your phone for that.
Yeah. I mean, I think to have a microphone, a nice little compact camera, might allow us to be more authentic, less TMZ, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's true.
So, all right, I'll write this down. It's on the to-do list. We're going to start, getting speaking with the offenders of our opinions.
This is great. I love it. Well, we knocked the one out of the park, John.
Yeah. I mean, great. I if it weren't for this, I'm sure there'll be applause. I'll just imagine that applause happening.
I mean, we got to decide whether to put a laugh track or applause track.
I like that
over the audio. I don't know about that. Yeah. I used to rant about how dumb it was to like have sitcoms with a laugh track. Like, that is so juvenile. And then somehow I realized that like probably my favorite sitcom of all time, Seinfeld, of course, has laugh track and applause track right in there. So then I had to eat my words. So
I had never noticed it until someone pointed out, like, all American
that's right.
shows.
That's the thing. When you like it, you don't know, it's just there. You don't notice it. But man,
Just one last.
Go ahead.
This is just one last thing. I just, I understood the reference to Seinfeld, but I've watched it as I was growing up. You can't tell this from my voice, but I'm a little older. But I was at the local coffee shop, and I was talking to like some guy, 18, 19 years old, and I was going to make a reference to Seinfeld and how I came into the restaurant. I was going to say, well, it's like Kramer type of thing. And before I did that, I had the good sense to say, oh, do you know the TV show Seinfeld? And he asked me like 3 times to clarify, like, what was Sein what? And that's kind of where I started realizing, that it's I'm getting older. I'm getting old, and it's kind of scary,
Wow, it feels like that should be a show everybody should know. Like, you don't have to have seen it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess my 7-year-old probably doesn't know. Like, if I ask him about that show, he has no idea that it exists, right? But I think like a 20-year-old, 22-year-old should know that there used to be this show that was very popular called Seinfeld.
Yeah, or at least like Seinfeld there's a comedian Seinfeld, so
sure.
Yeah. But I'm
not sure I've ever, I don't know that I've ever seen an episode of Mr. Ed, but I'm familiar with the idea that there used to be a show called Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed,
It was probably my parents' generation, maybe, or I guess, maybe even after that. But yeah, so there's the analogy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, good times. And
are you rushing me off? Are we over an allocation?
Well, I think we're probably good for this week.
All right.
You think? You still got more to say?
I got more to say, but you know what? We'll hold it for next week. Thanks.
We to be continued.